Hey everybody, how's everyone going? I should start over. Hey everybody, how's everyone doing? Hope you're all doing well. How's it going? So yeah, thank you for joining me on a Thursday night. So I've tried to do 8 o'clock, but this week things have been pretty busy, and now with the spring forward, the time change, it's the lights out longer for an hour longer, which is nice. So 9 o'clock doesn't seem quite as late as it does in the wintertime. So yeah, right away I posted a question. So did you pick any of the following NCAA teams to win the division? So I picked all the number one seeds, and right away, Tim, welcome to the channel. Welcome tonight. He said the Kentucky Wildcats. So I'll just tell you my pick. I really don't know that much about NCAA basketball. I mean, I follow it and know the team names, but I don't know like the up-to-date things. So I'll just tell you, I have Maryland winning it over Arizona. So we'll see how it goes. I picked two brackets. The second bracket, my wife, she helped me. This was just kind of a for fun bracket where she just read off the two teams that are playing each other randomly. And then I just, without knowing the rankings, I just picked the name. So actually, I don't know who I picked for that to win it all, but I'm not doing as good in that bracket as I am the one that I did pick. So yeah, we're gonna talk about some new tool news going on tonight, this week. So we have some things from Ryobi, Milwaukee, and Ridgid. So I'm just going to give it like one more minute to let a few more people jump in here. So one thing that's nice that having spring. So I changed this green right here to had the blue for the winter. So I changed that tree to a green. So looking forward to things warming up around here. We've had some really nice weather. I've been a little bit slow posting some videos on my channel. My family and I went to Palm Springs, California a couple weeks ago, and then getting back, it's just been kind of busy preparing to go on the trip. And then we're going to be gone for 7 days, but then our flight got canceled coming back. So we ended up staying an extra day in Palm Springs, which wasn't so bad because they put us in a motel that had a swimming pool and a hot tub. And then they flew us out like 6 a.m. the next morning. So it wasn't the worst being stuck there because it was like mid to high 70s that day. Cool, welcome in. He says, how's it going? Hope all is well. Same to you. So I think we'll just jump into the tool news. This is probably going to be a little bit of a shorter segment tonight, shorter live stream. There's several games on. I'm sure if you're a basketball fan, you'll want to go back to that. So let's go over here a minute. So I'm hoping I can get everything to work right. So it's been a little bit of a busy day, and I think everything's all lined up. So I have a little bit of a different format. Whoops, sorry. I have a little bit of a different format how I'm going to, normally have a keynote. So this time I made like a keynote presentation as a YouTube video. So what I'm doing is I'm going to play this video like a keynote, and then I can pause it. So hopefully it all goes well. But there is quite a bit of tool news over the last 2 weeks. I was thinking I might do the 2 weeks tonight, but there's just so much that we would be here forever. So I'm just doing what is new this week. And you can see right away with Ryobi, they have some things here. There's one thing that I did leave out that I'll talk about towards the end of this. It was a little bit smaller compared to some of the other ones, but it's a worthwhile thing to mention. I just didn't have enough time to get that in here. All right, so now, all right, good. It's playing. So yeah, we're going to start off with Ridgid. So I'm going to just show you some of the new tools, a couple new ones they have right here. We're going to start off with the impact driver. I'll give you a couple quick looks showing the stock footage that they sent me, what it looks like in action. So capable of tackling a lot of these big jobs right here. All right, so this is the 18-volt subcompact brushless Stealth Force Plus driver. It's model R87234B. So the tool only price is $159. And this has a lightweight design, heavyweight performance, 3 speeds in the self-tapping mode, has the Stealth Force hydraulic oil pulse driving mechanism, and then it has a tri-beam LED. So you can see that's the tri-beam. So I haven't ever tested an impact driver or a drill driver with the circle light on it. I'd be curious to, I forget which companies make that. I'd be curious just to see how those compare. I think like Skill is one of the first that came out with that. And then here's the right angle driver right here. I forget the official name, but we'll get to it in a second. Just showing some of the applications. This would be great for people that are in the trades like electricians, people in the mechanical HVAC industry, or builders. All right, so this is the 18 volt, 2-speed, half-inch stud and joist drill. So model RA64002B. The tool only priced $299. This has the maximum performance, longer runtime, kickback protect technology, 2-speed modes, and the best power to weight performance. So I just have kind of a high overview. I don't have all the numbers of what things are weighing in at. I was curious, boy, it's probably like around 2017 or so. They had, I think it's called the Mega Max, if I'm not mistaken. If you go on my channel and you search Ridgid, I think I probably have like 20 some videos with Ridgid tools. If you search Ridgid Mega Max, you'll probably come across it. That thing, it was quite heavy, and it had a switchable, like the main body, you could switch the heads on it. So one was a right angle driver, and that thing was like the most powerful one that I've ever used. I'm not sure if I still have it here or not. I don't think I do. But I like this one right here. This looks like it's going to get into some tight spaces, and nice handle up there, up above. All right. And then from Ryobi, we've got a few. So here's a quick look at what we're going to be talking about. So you can see this desk right here. This is brand new. This is something I'm really excited about. You see how it folds down right there? So I'll get you all the information on that here. All right, so this is the Stowaway wall-mounted workbench, model STM40B. It's going to be available May of this year for the price. I thought this was really a pretty decent price, $99.98. So it has the 5-inch storage shelf when it's stowed away. So you can see that little shelf up there. So if you want to keep a few things, it's kind of nice that not everything will fall down or whatever, you know, when you're folding it. It's kind of nice to be able to, if you have a few things you need to quick set it up there, there's room to do that. And then it has effortless one-hand lock functionality and a 300-pound weight capacity. All right, and this is something I just thought about this when I first saw that. So if you have a workbench and you're looking for like a nice mat to work on, this is one. I had one, and then I think it eventually wore out. There's a Rockler store about an hour away from me, and when I travel that way, I'll stop in that store if I have time. I bought another one, so I highly recommend. This is the silicone glue mat. So I would probably, if I do get that fold away storage work table, I'll more than likely put this on there. This will just kind of help the scratches. If you're working on it, I do like some knife sharpenings on it. And if like silicone or something, like, I'm sorry, if glue falls on it, the silicone doesn't allow it to stick, so you can pull it off if it dries and hardens. So I'm just going to see if there's any comments. It's a little bit quiet tonight, I'm guessing. Oh yeah, sorry. Steve, welcome in. Ridgid is stepping up. Good to see. Tim says, yeah, that looks interesting. All right, sorry. I had my comment window hidden by another window there. So yeah, if you haven't tried that silicone mat, I highly recommend it. So we're going to look a little bit more at this is just going to be kind of a quick overview of some of their other things. So their link wall system is something that I'm planning on installing in my garage. I have right over there behind the camera, there is a pegboard, and I put that up probably 5 years ago. And pegboards are, I mean, they're good. They serve their purpose, but for me, I think the link system is going to work really well. So I want to give that a try. So you'll probably see that in the background sometime when I'm recording some of my videos. I have like three work areas right now that I could potentially have as a video backdrop area, but I'm going to have that as my fourth. That's the plan anyways. I'm going to be busy doing some organizing over this spring and summer. All right, so this is and it should just skip back real quick. Got busy talking. Tim says it got a mat from WeatherTech for my wife. She requested it. I didn't realize. Oh, well, I know they make them for cars. Do they make them for workbenches too? So I know that's like a really good name for everything. Hey, Texas veteran, good to hear from you. So I think before you've commented when I've gone live at 8 o'clock that you were just getting out of work and didn't make it. Oh, Jeremy's here too. So yeah, tonight I just, with my schedule, decided to go live at 9 o'clock. So I'm glad to see all the people in here. Hopefully it works for everyone at 9 o'clock. So I'm still trying to do the 8 o'clock on Thursday nights, but we'll see how it goes. So this is, Cole said, what are your thoughts on the M12 subcompact impact? Sorry, the M12 subcompact impact and drill driver from Milwaukee. I was first thinking about the impact, but the drill driver, if you're talking about the one that has a hammer drill in it, that is probably one of my favorite Milwaukee tools. I think it's one of those like underrated things that people don't talk about that much. I work in a building where I'm often having to drill things, and I do have like a big, like sometimes I have to drill into concrete, and sometimes like in drywall and other things, some steel studs. That is so handy. It's lightweight, and I was kind of skeptical at first of the M12s, how powerful they would be. I think I have the 4 amp hour battery in there, and the thing is just basically unstoppable. Anything like hanging things or like putting in some 1/2-inch anchors, that thing's great. And I really like the impact too. They're just, I like the 2 or the 3 amp hour battery on the impact. So if you don't have one, I would definitely recommend them. They're awesome. They're like one of my favorites. All right, I'm going to get caught up on the comments here a second. So Cole, hopefully that answers your question. I'm talking about the same tool, the details that you're wanting to hear about it. Steve says, I have the link wall system in my garage and small shop. They have a lot of accessories, and all those new organizers look awesome. Yeah, they have some even more things that they're developing on that. So I'm going to talk about that in just a second. Tim said it's 8 p.m. for me. That's better. Jeremy said, hey, welcome in, Jeremy. I think I left a comment with you earlier this morning that it was going to be 8 o'clock, but thanks for adjusting and making it to 9. He said he saw the greenskeeper of the golf course trimming trees and mowing the lawn at the golf course, and he saw a greenskeeper using the wood chipper at the golf course. Yeah, this week I was gone. If you joined in late, I was just saying I was in California like 10 days ago, and it got pretty warm here in Michigan, like up in the 70s, like even while we were gone. And you can see things are greening up. Normally it's around April 25th or so when I start mowing, but I think I might be like maybe 10 days early this year mowing. Things are really, I'm starting to see it green up faster than normal. And this is the first year that I've ever seen robins as early as they've been. They were actually here, I think like in February, which is really unusual. There's like snow on the ground. So I don't know if Mother Nature knows more about the season, how fast it's moving in, but it looks like to me we're going to start mowing earlier than normal. So yeah, you must live in a warmer climate than me to see all that happening. Texas veteran says, yeah, that has happened before when working nights. So yeah, either 8 or 9. So I'm trying to do like every other week if possible. So we'll see how it goes with my schedule. That's my goal anyways, but sometimes I just have to postpone it. Oh, Tim said he mowed his first yard last week. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Around my house this year, I was going to just briefly mention this. I have the Yarbo snowblower that I posted on my channel. I have the accessory for the lawnmower for it. So sometime pretty soon I need to go through and plot everything out, or at least part of it. It's not going to be able to keep up with everything, but I'm going to make some videos on that showing how it works. Maybe that will mow my backyard. But I'm somebody who loves mowing lawns. I think when I was 7 years old, we had a riding mower, and my dad saw how excited I was, and I think he was glad to let me take over with that. So I just love being on the mower, being out, especially in the nice weather, and just seeing what it looks like when you're done. It's also just a good place to get away and think a little bit, or listen to some podcasts or sports or something like that. All right, so let's get back quick. I'll get back to the comments when they roll in after I go through some of these more announcements here from the tools. So yeah, you can see this setup right here. This will mount on the wall, and it has 3 different, you can get it each individual tray. So there's like the thin one, the middle size, and the wider one. So you can see how this works really well for the tackle box. So yeah, it's called the Link Slot Box Organizer Kit. There's just an idea what it looks like. So that will go on the wall, the Link system on the wall, or it will go on that 2-wheel cart that they have. There's some information I have on this, so I'll read some of that off. So just that kit right there, $59.97. I think that's a good price. So yeah, as I mentioned, it'll seamlessly mount to the wall. Let me just go back. Sorry. And then yeah, the toolboxes and the rails. So that's something you're going to see me talking about pretty soon. The Link in my garage. Once it warms up, I'm just kind of waiting for some time where I can get things out of my garage and then have everything clear, so that I can do some work on it and then bring it back in an organized fashion, finding a place for everything. So right now I'm just a little bit busy with just very cold. And when I do have time, like today, it was like snow and sleet out. So here you can buy just the box itself. They call that receiver. So if you wanted to start out with just a couple of those trays, you can buy them. And then you can buy this if you want to upgrade to the wall or that rolling tool cart. So $39.97 for that. So there's a thin one. So yeah, $11.97 for that. The medium one, everything's customizable in the inside. $14.97. You see how you can move those around. And this is something new. This is the Link Quick Hang Strap Hook. So this, like I said, Ryobi is really doing quite a bit with this system right here. I think I'm really excited to see the different things that they're offering for it. So it just has, you can see this nice snap hook right here, real easy to undo it and put it back in. Like my backpack that I travel with that has that. It's just very nice. Some of the straps on there. So that's, yeah, $7.97. That's a good price for that. So the Link Quick Strap Hook, and I was going to see how much it will hold, like for your hoses or extension cords. Yeah, 15-pound weight capacity. All right, so now we're going to talk about Milwaukee. Before we do, I'm just going to quick jump back into the comments a second, just to get, so we're not too far behind in there. Steve said, what state do you live in? I'm in Michigan, in the kind of like mid-Michigan area. So I was talking about the poll. I could probably end that poll. I was going to see how... Oh, okay. All right, I'm going to hit end poll so everybody can see the comments a little better. So, yeah. Oh, all right. So I thought I would just check before I answer your question. So more people picked Duke. So yeah, the team that's closest to me is Michigan State University. So I'm hoping that they go far. I think I picked them to win their first 2 games. So we'll see how that goes. All right, let me get back. So Jeremy said, do golf courses use wood chippers and stump grinders? Yeah, when I golf, I don't hear that. I'm sure they do, or they probably hire somebody to come in and take some of those things out, but they're probably doing it more like preventive maintenance, I would say, like on the days when the golf course isn't busy, or like in the beginning of the season before people, it's a hazard or just an annoyance. Um, I drive by a golf course pretty much every day in my travels, but there's a lot of pine trees. I don't really ever see them clearing that out. So probably just depends on the golf course. Tim said, Toro showed a robot mower at the expo. My brother-in-law is interested in it. Yeah, I didn't get a chance to check them out, but I have seen on Instagram different people that were at that booth looking at them. Crest is another company that a lot of people were showing. I did have a chance to make a video on that in 2023. So they look pretty good. And I do have some plans. Nothing has happened yet. I haven't received it, but getting another brand of robotic mower. So I might be mowing with 2 areas and then with robotic. I have some plans. I have some area where I might be able to carve out like a small like golf hole or like a disc golf. So, and it's kind of surrounded by tall weeds. So if I can mow it down with my regular 0-turn mower in the spring, then I would like to just try to get it rolled out and smooth, and then have the robotic mower maintain that hole if I can do it. So that's kind of a plan. I'm hoping that it will work, because I want to make a video on it. I think that would be interesting to me, and I think other people might find it interesting too. So we'll see if it can just go out and do its thing randomly, like 2-3 days a week, and then whenever I feel like going out, and like my son Sawyer, when he comes home from college, he enjoys chipping around the yard or playing disc golf or just activities out in the yard. So that would be cool to be able to go out and do that. Texas veteran said, in an organized fashion, I told myself that a few times it never happened. I apologize. I forget what we were talking about. I have sometimes some short-term memory. Jeremy said, what mowers do golf courses use? That I really honestly, Jeremy, don't know that much about golf courses. I think Toro is probably a brand that I've seen out there. If I see somebody mowing or using a backpack blower, Texas veteran says John Deere is used at a lot of the courses that he passes by. I'm normally looking at the brands. That's just something that I do when I see somebody. I remember like playing mini golf with my kids, and there was somebody that was riding a weed whip, like just down the ways a little bit. And I was just curious. I'm like, that sounds like an Echo. And I just had to look and find out. I'm like, oh, yep, sure enough, I was right. So that's something I normally pay attention to, but I haven't really seen them out there too much when I'm golfing, the times I did go out last summer. Oh, when I talk about organize my garage, when was that? Oh, in an organized fashion. Yeah. It's, it's overwhelming, but I think if I can chip away at a little bit, what I'm really liking is that the companies like Milwaukee, their pack outs are kind of forcing you to get organized, and like Ryobi as well too. Ridgid, and Home Depot, I'm seeing their stuff. DeWalt has some pretty awesome stuff. I was in Lowe's this afternoon, and they have just an amazing Klein, their boxes, like all types of accessories. So it seems like if you're really wanting to get organized, they're making it a lot easier for you. Instead of, I'm somebody who wouldn't mind building something. I have some custom things, some shelves and other things I've built, and wall hooks and things, trying to get creative. But if they can do it, with me being a pretty busy person, there shouldn't really be too much of an excuse, or that should just be able to help me. So I'm glad to see that that's what they're doing. Jeremy says, the golf course in my neighborhood use mostly Toro golf course mowers, and Echo and Steel and Vermeer. Yep. Those are some good quality items. All right. Well, let's get on to the Milwaukee. Let's see. I guess I have to hit play. So just kind of a smaller announcement from them. So you see these bits right here, and the bit holders. It's a longer bit holder right there. So we'll just talk about this real quick. So last week from Milwaukee, there was quite a bit, but I just didn't have enough time today to go back 2 weeks and put this all together. So I'm trying to just keep it all to 1 week so we can keep this live stream like 20 to 30 minutes, somewhere in there. So just depending on how much chatting there is and how much the tools are to talk about, or the questions and things like that. Texas Veteran says the client system has grown on me a lot. It's looking really good. I don't own one, but I do check them out. Like when I'm in Lowe's, I don't have I'm really close to a Home Depot. The Lowe's, I kind of have to make a special trip. There's a Menards over by the Lowe's too. So sometimes I know something I'm looking for, they'll have a certain thing at one of the 3 stores. So I usually go to Lowe's probably every couple weeks. And yeah, I spent some time there today. I really like their screwdrivers, their hand tools. I'm pretty much now into the pack out quite a bit. And then I'm going to also get into the Ryobi one as well too for the wall, and just see how that works. Cole says, what way does the bit turn on the M18 fuel compact router? I believe that would be counterclockwise. It's the same as all routers. I know that. So I haven't used my router since last fall. So I believe sometimes I just have to get refreshed when I use it, but it would be the industry standard. I'll say that. And I'm quite certain that's counterclockwise, I believe, but don't hold me to it. I could look it up and let you know, but it's the industry standard. So let's see. I'll just tell you real quick. These are the items from Milwaukee. So the Shockwave Impact Duty drill bits showcase upgraded tip geometry, providing users with the ultimate fit for less stripping of screws on the job site. The long-lasting wear guard tip protects the fit over the life of the bit, delivering improved performance for professionals. Featuring over 50 unique shock zone shanks customized per tip type, users will see greater durability across their driving applications. So one of the things in the years of me being a home builder, grew up in the prefab home business and spent many years in that. So a lot of times some of the homes would come with blinds, or a customer wanted to have like some mini blinds put in. So I sometimes go through the punch list at the end, and sometimes I'd have to put some blinds in. But those little screws that those come with, they're pretty cheap screws, and they always seem to wear out my drill bits. That, like over anything else that I've done, I've built decks and done framing and all different types of things. But just those little, probably like a number 1 Phillips is the size, and they would strip those out pretty quick. So I like seeing this right here from Milwaukee, that they're just having it lock in better, just anything to prevent it from spinning. That's the thing to get the long life out of it. And I believe, yeah, that's it. So I'm just going to go right here and just see if there's any other questions on anything that we talked about. So one thing you might not be able to see, I'm wearing my Echo hoodie right here, so I haven't really had a chance to get any Echo or talk about them much lately. I'll just move my mic over here a little bit. This is one of the saws I'm really excited to test out. So I have the top handle 2511 TN, and this is the rear handle version of that. And I'm just surprised how such a lightweight saw like this right here, I think it's like 5.5 pounds. I put the 14-inch bar on it. So having this to go along with like a big saw, just something to go and take the limbs off real quick. Or if my other saw gets pinched, for this to go and do a relief cut. I'm really excited about this. So far I've only had 1 tank of fuel through it. And I believe that once I get like 3 tanks of fuel through this, that's when the motor starts to open up a little bit more. I've heard a lot of people say that. I'm not sure if all the brands are that way, but I know with Echo, they usually need about 3 tanks to really get it to start reaching that high peak performance. So I was going to work on that today, and we just had like super high winds. Well, I was going to work on it the other day. We had super high winds. Today we had super high winds. So I don't like to get all that noise in my mic. It's difficult with all the different mics that I own to prevent that wind noise. And then I also want to get some decent footage. So when it's that windy or just like snow coming down, it's just not as desirable. So I'm hoping that Saturday that works out. So then you're going to see that saw in another saw. I'm not going to mention it right now, but I want to leave a little surprise to the video on which other saw I want to pair that with. So we'll talk about that. Yeah, that is, Texas Veteran said it looks really small for a gas saw. Almost thought it was electric. Yeah, the other saw, like I was mentioning, it's a top handle arborist saw. That is the light, that with a 12-inch bar is the lightest top handle chainsaw in North America or something like that. And Echo was really excited about that somewhere like around 2021, maybe, when they launched it. And I'm kind of like the Tim the Tool Man, when he has like the big Binford saw, like I feel real excited when you get a big chainsaw running it. And I wasn't sure that the smaller saw would win me over, but after using it for a while, and we've had some storm situations, I was called in to help where this huge maple fell over. It was in a city neighborhood, and it was blocking almost the whole road, the street that it was on. So a couple other guys, myself, we went and started working on that. And that tree had so many different branches. The top handle arborist saw is what I first used because it was like in the middle of summer and we had a huge storm and the tree was rotting out. That's where it broke. So just to be able to get to the tree, just to start cutting in towards it, that like 12-inch saw, I was amazed how well that worked. And just all the cutting, like lifting your arms repeatedly, like I never got tired where I would with like a big, like 50 or 60 or 70 cc saw. So I'm quite excited to start using this a little bit more. And like I was saying, to get some more more gas tanks of fuel to go through it. So it opens up a little bit more. Tim says he has I have got a lot of time with my Ryobi 18-volt handsaw. I have lots of limbs down during an ice storm. Oh, that's the one that's like, I call it like the baby chainsaw where it has that top part. Is that the handsaw? I don't have that tool, but I'm guessing that's the one that it is. Those are very handy. I have that in the Echo version and the Milwaukee version. And yeah, the 18-volt, that works really well. Milwaukee made a 12-volt, but it's not quite the same as the 18. So Jeremy's asking, what's the difference between a wood chipper and a stump grinder? Well, the stump grinder is what goes in the ground, and the wood chipper is what you drag the wood through. And Cole says, yeah, 3 tanks of fuel for a break-in period, also with gas chainsaws. Let them warm up. Idle for at least a minute, otherwise you run the risk of blowing your engine. Oh, that's good to know. I noticed a lot of times with my Echo gas-powered handheld leaf blower, that takes at least a full minute to warm up. Otherwise, it's just kind of bogging down. The same thing with the gas hedge trimmers. It doesn't take a lot of power for an engine to move hedge trimmers. Like the battery-powered ones, they last a really long time on a single charge. But the Echo, I know those engines takes a little patience. Sometimes I just want to get going, but I didn't really ever think about the risk of blowing your engine, but it does definitely take some time. That's for sure. Let's see. Tim says yes. And Jeremy says the stump grinder wood chipper loud and dangerous. Yes. So you can rent a stump grinder from the local place where I go to, but by the time there's somebody I know that I was friends with years ago, and then I found out that he has a business doing stump grinding. So I've reached out to him and he's done some work for me, and he's actually probably at least the same price. I don't think there's any savings if I went to go rent one, unless if I had to rent it for like several different trees. Maybe you could do it cheaper, but just for like one off, like that tree I was talking about, that maple tree, it was huge. I think it was like a cluster of trees where a couple, like there's a huge trunk and a couple real big trunks like went out into a V from it. And at the bottom, the base, I think it was, I have a 32-inch saw. The bar on it is a 32-inch. And I think that just reached through. That's how wide it was. And so I hired that guy to come out and take that out. And yeah, it just took him probably about an hour to just grind it all down. And then the only thing we had to do is haul away the wood chips. So unless you pay them to do it, but we just wanted to keep the price down as much as possible. So yeah, I've never, the ones I'm talking about that you rent, those are the bigger ones. You could probably, I think there's probably some smaller versions you could potentially buy, but that's something I really don't get into too much. I don't really know that much about it. So, well, I'm going to head here to the last screen. So that's it this week for the tool news. And I appreciate everyone who stopped by, all the comments. It's been great. So I don't know what 2 weeks from now looks like, but I'm hoping like around 8 o'clock if that works. Let me know if anyone has any reactions to 8 or 9 p.m. So sometimes with me, it just kind of depends. Jeremy says electric wood chipper loud. That, I don't think I've been around one. So I'm guessing it's, even though there isn't a gas engine running, probably just that grinding noise, I would guess, would be pretty loud. All right. So anyways, that's it for now, friends. I appreciate everyone watching, and I hope you have a good rest of your week. If you're doing the brackets, good luck on your tournament. And I'm not sure, 2 weeks from now. Yeah, we'll just try to touch base then. And I think that will the tournament be done then? I'm not sure. Well, anyways, we'll probably talk about it if it's still going on. So, all right, everyone. Hope you all have a great rest of your week and weekend. We'll talk to you soon.